I'm Noah Koff, a rapid growth advisor for rapid growth companies. Today, our big question is how can you automate repetitive work? And in your work as a leader, repetitive work creeps into your day, reviewing spreadsheets, building slide decks, administration. We all have these repetitive tasks. And delegating and automating tasks are two really important ways that any leader can become more efficient and more effective with your time. Today, we're going to explore how AI can help you by claiming back more of your time from repetitive work. And I'm delighted to talk to a true expert in automation, Alexander de Ritter. Alexander, thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Alex is a visionary and founder of Smythe OS. With 15 years of experience, he's pioneered collaborative AI systems, including the world's first distributed AI operating system. Alex's work augments human productivity and improves access to AI systems. His aim is to help enterprises automate complex workflows with simple, no-code solutions. So, Alex, let's start talking about technology for good. This is a theme in your work. What does it mean to you? And was there a critical moment in your life when there was a person or experience that shaped this belief of technology for good?
Well, I think that is independent of technology. I think everything we do should be for the good. Now, you you will typically take care of your loved ones, your family, then your town, your country, and then the world. Typically, people tend to be more aware of the good they need to do for others. The closer they are together, the more they talk, the more they interact, the more they socialize, right? Um,
All right.
I think that humanization is very important. It is very difficult to go to war with someone if you consider them family or friends, right? And so, for that holds true in technology as well. We need to really think about what the implications are of the actions that we're taking and how we impact fellow humans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Was there some time in your life or a person, a mentor, uh, that helped shape this belief that you have and this empathetic side to you?
Okay, so I have a Christian background, and I learned early on in my life that there are different types of love. In Greek, there are words for love that express the love between friends. Also, others will describe the love between father and son, for example, and others will describe things like romantic love or passionate love. But there's another type of love that is the Greek word is agape, and this
Mhm.
is a type of love that is self-sacrificial, where you sacrifice some of your own benefit for the benefit of others. Um, for example, you could be hungry, but you see a person by the side of the street that looks like they haven't had anything to eat at all, right? You could choose to go hungry yourself in order to give your food to that person. And so that would be an act of agape. You do not expect anything in return. You're likely to not see that person ever again, but still you're compelled by kind of a moral compass to go and make a difference. not for selfish reasons. So agape is something that that is can be called self-sacrificial love, and so this is kind of the kind of ethical compass, I think, that drives a lot of my thinking. No, obviously there's limits to that, right? So you're on the airplane, and they will drop the oxygen masks, and they will say, put on the oxygen mask for yourself, and then help the people around you. Because if you do not have an oxygen mask on yourself, you cannot help others. And so, clearly, the whole idea is love others as yourself, means that if you hate yourself, you're not going to love others very much. So I think that a self-sacrificial love needs to originate from a deep love of yourself, and not in a self-destructive way, not a love of money, but a true love of self, appreciation of who you are and what you have to offer into the world. And then when we are given good things and when we are blessed, we then have a responsibility to then share that with others. So anyhow, a little philosophical, but you asked philosophical questions. So
Love that. Thank you. Thank you for the context. It's always helpful for us to know a bit about how we look at technology and where some of the empathy comes from. And that's really helpful for me, and I'm certain for others that are interested in you and what you're doing. So let's talk about your body of work with AI agents. And let's start with a beginner's mind in this area, because many of us may not have even heard of what an AI agent is or does. So could you describe what an AI agent does for those who don't know anything about this area?
yeah, so when people talk about AI, they often think about, like, it's a chatbot, right? You can talk to it. Um, but that's a lot like humans before they discovered fire, or before they discovered the wheel, or before we had the printing press. And you give humans use of tools, and all of a sudden you have civilization. You give them knowledge sharing, and all of a sudden you have the first human on the moon. So tool usage makes a great difference. An agent, an AI agent, is an AI which can orchestrate the use of tools to accomplish certain goals. A fundamental process in human decision making or work productivity involves the use of tools, collaboration, intelligence, and process. Right? We follow a proven process, a company approved process, a process you gathered over years of experience to accomplish certain tasks. There are fundamentally there are two types of agents. There are the agents that were popularized last year by tools like AutoGPT, where an AI is in control of kind of deciding for itself how it wants to use the tools to accomplish a certain goal. And then there are another type of agents, which we have really pioneered at SmithOS, SMY OTH smithOSOS.com. And those are agents that are under control of humans, meaning they follow our process, our workflow, use only the tools and the steps where we decide they have access to data and so forth. The process of controlling agents in such a way, kind of by a flowchart or workflow, allows us to very precisely control the safeguards around what AI is allowed to do. So therefore, it makes it very usable in the enterprise work environment and in business context, because it gives us humans the control over it. Normally speaking, to exercise such control over multiple AIs And we call this process intelligence orchestration. With code would take a long time. And so with our product, we have eliminated all of that time of coding by making it visual, drag and drop. It's a ridiculously easy to go from idea to working agent by describing the logical flow and what data and tools to use in the process with our product. And that allows you to have all of the benefits of AI in a safe way, in a responsible way, but also have it in a way that you can easily do it in an afternoon, what might have taken you months to do in old-fashioned ways.
Fantastic. So help me understand what types of tasks an AI agent is best at doing today in 2024. In my business, I publish content often, and many of my companies that I work with, ventures, do the same, publishing either blog or educational content. What types of tasks could agents help me, and kind of what kind of tasks could I delegate to the AI agent to take away some of the grunt work? What could that look like?
Yeah, so our product, smithos.com, already comes with pre-built templates. And some of these templates already do things like researching Google, writing outlines, turning outlines into articles, editing those articles, and publishing them to WordPress as a draft. Right? They're ready for you to go in there and customize them, and then just let your agents work as part of your team. So that is already possible. We already have customers who are using SmithOS orchestration in the context of e-commerce. For example, you could send your product image to Vision AI models that then describe what the image looks like, and use that together with records from your database to create amazing product descriptions. The key thing about using AI in content marketing is to add value to the customer. So if you were to go to ChatGPT and say, write an article that will rank for XYZ keyword, that is going to get you in trouble with Google. That adds no value. But if on the other hand, you can say, a perfect article for my site that adds value will start with an introduction paragraph. It will have this tone of voice. It will use this kind of hook. Then it proceeds to a comparison subheading. And for the comparison subheading, it draws upon this database that of 1,000 or 100,000 pages of content about my product, so it can write with insight. And then it can draw comparisons. And then for the next one, it can research Google and find sources and enter hyperlinks, and then so forth and so on. Then when it is done, you send it to an AI agent that's an editor, that proofreads it, that fact checks it, that looks for potential, red flags in the content and makes those edits. And then finally, it can be sent to a human or to a draft in a WordPress system where a human can review it. And so you can greatly accelerate your productivity. The way to think about AI agents is a lot like you would think about maybe adding offshore workers to your team 15 years ago. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't very common. But nowadays, a lot of people have global blended teams. And so 15 years from now, it will be the most normal thing in the world to have some of these colleagues be simply digital, but still supervised by a human, still constrained by humans, air-gapped so that they can control and where data is allowed to flow, how the output is controlled. So the future is where I think content writers can really become agent engineers that apply their content expertise to build, deploy, operate, maintain these AI agents. But then these agents, once built, They can join your team. And if tomorrow you need to scale them to 100, they can kind of clone themselves and make yourself very productive.
Yeah, right, right. So I see it. So if I was interested in this area and becoming an AI engineer so that I could guide and have success with a pilot, what would the first steps look like for me? What would you recommend? Is there
Yeah. So
training or is there, yeah, how does that work?
yeah, I always lived my life by just doing, right?
Right,
If you want to learn anything at all, you want to get better at drawing, draw more. If you want to start
right,
painting, don't just watch YouTube videos about painting for a month. You'll never learn to paint. You need to just go grab a canvas and get some paint and start, and then you'll learn. You'll learn while doing.
right.
Now, there's people who learn differently, but I see this in business all the time. Entrepreneurs, so they'll have great visions, but it's the people that do that move the world, not the people that just think about doing. So, if you want to build agents, Smith OS is the easiest way to get started. And so, why? Well, for starters, you can do so without writing a single line of code. You can drag and drop and visually see the logic. If you can draw on a sketch pad, you can draw a little diagram of this happens, then this happens, and then I want to do that. Then you can build with Smith. Um, and so we have a Discord community, which is wonderful. There's lots of support happening there. We have documentation, training videos, we have templates, tutorials to get started with. The people that are most apt to pick up Smith and become very productive quickly are those who have some experience with prompt engineering, like they know how to ask something from AI nicely and the AI gives it to them. And then the people that have some kind of development background. Now, mind you, it's possible that you haven't coded in 10 years, but you still have the coder's mindset. You know, you
Mhm.
know how to organize a process. You know how to make an API call if you really had to. Those are the basic skills. You do not need to know a specific programming language. You just need to be able to think in a problem-solving, logical way.
Right. Okay. So let's say I have no background in coding, but
Mhm.
I'm interested in this idea of, uh, yeah, having some agents that could help in different areas of my business. And let's say that I'm also interested in jumping in and doing some, yeah, getting my hands dirty and trying this out as a pilot project. What type of, yeah, how should I be thinking about my first pilot project in this area? What are some, easy wins that could be good starter projects or candidates for a pilot, for a test, to learn and have a little bit of success quickly without a lot of work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm gonna try to spell it correctly this time, right? Smythos, Smith OS. We have several templates that are designed for starter winning situations. I think that anything like designed around creating valuable content for your site can be useful. I also think that image recognition models are so wonderful. Um, let's just brainstorm for a second, right?
Hmm.
Imagine you have this warehouse and you need to verify if something is actually in stock. It's in your database, it says in stock, but you want to verify. Maybe once a day, maybe in real time, doesn't really
Hmm.
matter.
Hmm.
Now, um, instead of like leaving your desk and walking all over there and go check it out, maybe you dispatch a drone to that specific aisle, take a picture, send it to a vision model, and ask the question like, "What's in here?" and you can know if it's actually there or not. And there you go. You just created an agent that can remote control a drone, dispatch it, and update your content management system. Maybe you work and have calls with customers, or want to send appointment reminders via text message. What if you can have an agent that automates that? Maybe you do a lot of emailing. Maybe you want to research your customers online so you can create a personalized outreach pitch, right? Maybe you want to integrate something with HubSpot and automate something. Maybe a call transcript needs to be analyzed, and then HubSpot records updated automatically as soon as the call is finished. Maybe you want to add a layer of security to your organization and have an AI review all the code that is submitted in GitHub before publishing it. It can review it for potentially security vulnerabilities and make recommendations. Maybe you can use it for your SEO product. Upload the sitemap into an agent, or let the agent go fetch the sitemap and find opportunities for content gaps based on that. You can orchestrate any text model, video model, audio model, you name it, and you can chain them together as easy as you would draw it on a piece of paper.
Wow. Yeah, love that brainstorm there. What about if I have to review my CEO dashboard on a weekly basis and come up with an analysis of trends and insights? Is that the type of thing also that's possible? Data analysis and summaries and that type of thing that's routine?
Absolutely. I think that since Smith OS made a bold decision in the name of safety and responsibility and ethical use, we believe that humans should be in control of the workflow. Okay, so naturally you could turn over access to your house and kitchen and everything to AI and say, run my business for me, and disappear into the background. And you wouldn't know what AI is doing, whether you approve or not. That's one way. That is not our way, right? So if a human is in control of the workflow and chooses what process, data, tools, AI models are going to be used, right? I would just ask this question, right? What could you not automate, or what could you not create a helper for? If you can follow a process, use intelligence, and use any tool at your disposal to do that task. Well, there are going to be some limitations, but those limitations are disappearing quickly. For example, certain AI models have a limited attention span. Maybe they can only process 100 pages at a time of data to draw intelligent conclusions. Hey, by the way, that's more than my teenager, by the way, right?
Right.
So on the other hand, you may have agents or AI models that can process video or generate video, but they're still going to have limitations, right? So a human artist would be better at such things than an AI agent that uses such AI models at this time. Humans should always be in charge of the coordination, right? The orchestration, the workflows, and control where data flows securely, right? We believe humans should always be supervising that. And so humans will always be needed to orchestrate that in a safe way, in a way that we can control. Also, in certain areas where AI models are still not as capable as humans, right? You do not want to automate that yet. You want a human there to do that portion. The good news is that agents know how to collaborate. If you are part of a team or have ever been part of a company, you know that different people are good at different things. In order for you to be valuable in your company, you do not need to be better than everybody else at their job. You just need to be good at your job. And so this is how we see how agents fit in the workplace as well.
Right. So unlocking peak performance and productivity at the next level looks like being good at documenting a process, outlining results and what success looks like, being very clear on a brief and metrics and also the steps and the different parts to this thing, this task. And I see how this connects to software development, this linear process to being specific and guiding the task that you need done. It's no different from briefing or guiding an assistant to do something, or a team member or a team, being very clear on what this team needs to get done by when and what success looks like is really all part of having success happen. So for folks who wanted to learn more about Smith and how this could work for them, how could people learn, and what could that look like for you?
Yeah, the best way to learn about it is just go to our site and apply for early access or access, depending on when you watch this video, and join our Discord channel, engage with our community. If you want to join Discord, discord.gg/SmithOS. So you can just join our channel and talk to the people that already are building agents, see what they're creating, ask questions. Once you're in our product, you're going to see a lot of templates, tutorials, documentation, videos as well to get you to start. I would recommend just picking a template that looks like something you want to try out and play with it. SmithOS is ridiculously fun. Like once you see what you can build with it, it is like, you say like I'm a dragging a GPT here and I'm connected to my email, and then I'll put it on my WordPress, and you're just drag and dropping your creation together. It's so much fun. It's kind of like my childhood memories of MS Paint and all the things I would draw in it, right? It's fun. So just get in there, start playing, join our community, ask questions, and you'll be up and running in no time. And for those who are just saying, hey, this is complicated, this is difficult. No, it's not. We have people who have a background as writers without any development jobs who are now creating amazing agents. All it requires is a little bit of your interest, passion, and curiosity.
Yes, yeah. Curiosity, passion, interest, and belief that your team and organization can be more efficient by delegating some of the repetitive, boring work that you don't need to be doing on your own. The benefit always of getting better at delegation is then you're freed up to do more of the creative thinking work. And that is a benefit to anyone, any organization, no matter how small you are. Having more time back for creative thinking work is always going to be an advantage. So, Alexander, thank you so much for sharing with us all how AI agents can help us transform our productivity. And it's been fascinating learning about AI automation with you today. Thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Noah.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.